today. From Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, it's Week 3 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Mac Jones and the New England Patriots taking on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers.
From the area known as Patriot Place, EA Sports set for football at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. A moment ago, the pride of Massachusetts, the Patriots, introduced to this, as always, sold-out crowd as they get set to go head-to-head with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. From the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So now here come the Patriots to take over on offense. They're led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Mac Jones. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing Jones. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Zadarius Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season. The job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Jones. Under pressure, they got him again. Rashawn Gary, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Mike, check.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And it's fielded at the 34. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Time to see the offense for Green Bay go to work. Aaron Rodgers leading them. What a career it's been. Came into the league back in 2005 as the number 24 pick out of Cal. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. Tucker McCann now for the extra point. And it's good to make it 7-0. out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. McCann's got it teed up. Takes it at the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play.
That, too.
The numbers for Hunter Henry from a week ago. 8 catches, 80 yards.
That was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy that defenses have better focus on.
We got three, fellas, we got 3.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake. They was taking care of that early.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Rashawn Gary able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
91 is the mic. Come this way, come this way. Go!
Off play action. Jones. Complete. Hunter Henry with the grab. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. This defense for the Packers, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced.
Under pressure, and down he goes. Dean Lowry able to record his 5th sack of the season. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out. But you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
The Packers offense here coming back out for their 2nd drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles, and they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just...
And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. We'll get a report when we return to Fox Sports. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. That is caught by Amari Rodgers. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A big connection on that one. 32 yards.
Boy, they've definitely come out of the gate smoking here in the first quarter. Whatever they've tried to run has worked. And there's another example right there. Game plan is one thing, but how about his accuracy? It's been exceptional.
Now Rodgers. The left side completion to Jones. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and goal, Rodgers to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Now Rodgers. And it's a Packers touchdown. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm. Relax a little bit and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. McCann's got it teed up. Fielded right around the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here comes Mac Jones and the rest of the Patriot offense. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they're doing something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now a give, running left is Harris. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. Well, you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense just going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Throw left side complete. That's Mack. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is fielded at the 7. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
He's trying to parlay that great performance last week, NFC Offensive Player of the Week in Week 2, into a great performance. He's got a man, complete. Past the 20.
You'll get nothing and like it.
Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Extra point by McCann, up and good, and it's now 21-0. McCann's got it teed up. This one taken just inside the 10. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also won't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Jones from the gun on 3rd down. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try to cut down the length of the drive.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 44, Rodgers trying to lay one up deep. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Packers. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Well, you talk about a team coming into an opposing stadium and just taking the life right out of a crowd. That's what we're witnessing here. 27-0 Charles.
And this defense, they've just looked completely unprepared for what's been thrown at them. And you know they're supposed to adjust series to series. That has not happened for them, so I don't think halftime adjustments are going to help a heck of a lot. They are in major trouble unless they figure out something really fast.
Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. McCann's got it teed up. From the 10. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Nelson Aguilar and company getting set to go again on offense now. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried. And a lot of times, it's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game.
91 is the mic.
On 1st and 10, Jones. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. 2nd and 10.
91 is the mic. Mike 91. They can't hang with us.
Back to throw. Jones. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Work now for Jones and the Patriots here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. On 3rd down, here's Harris. Room to run past midfield. And he will take this all the way down to the Packers' 26. 57 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. They call a run on 3rd and a mile. Not only do they convert, but they tack on some yards at the end of it, too.
They went against what anyone would think would be a tendency, which is you're going to throw the ball on 3rd and a mile, right? But instead they decide to run the football because sometimes what you get is the defense is playing a little bit lighter. A lot of extra defensive backs, and they're loosened up for the pass. They found some running room and really converted.
And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime, and we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with it. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown. A great play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Packers come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter.
All you hear from coaches and personnel directors in the NFL, how difficult it is for a rookie receiver to have an impact on the game. So much to learn, so much offense to absorb. Looks like he's picking it up pretty well.
I would say so. And how about that for your first career NFL touchdown?
I don't know that he envisioned it quite that way, but if he was smart, he probably dreamed about it a little bit.
Extra point by McCann, up and good, and that will extend this big lead. McCann's got it teed up. Takes it at the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Four down. Check.
Looking to throw. Jones. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Kenny Clark able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tackles. We'll give you the six. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can click and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
The Patriots send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Here's Rodgers throwing quickly to the flat. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there. 56 yards. And the Packers are pouring it on. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
So now Rodgers will lead the Packers up to go for 2. Rodgers will throw for it. And the Packers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. And this is secured by the Patriots. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. They run again with Harris. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 62 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Back to throw. Jones. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Kingsley Kiki. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. Well, they were trying to set up a screen there, but that one just too slow in developing.
Yeah, too slow in developing and well read, because that ends up being a bad feeling for the quarterback. When he's got no blocking in front of him, his guys are just going to let defenders go, and they're coming for him. So if it's not there, you just got to throw the ball at the turf at your running back speed.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage. But every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and he didn't do it very often.
Now here's a throw that's complete. Room here to run. And it's a Packers touchdown. A big play there. 50 yards. And the Packers get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. McCann's got it teed up. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Patriots ready to try again on offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2nd and 7.
91 is the
They hand this off to Harris. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Yeah, we dominate today.
He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Jones. And he's going to drop this down to Harris, middle of the field. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty is a result of that hit there.
Now Jones on 1st down. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Check. No. Here we go. Mike's on 9.
Here's Jones on 1st and 10. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Mack. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Not today, you are. Not today. 44 to Mike. 44.
Now a first down carry for Harris. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. Second and 6.
58 to Mike. I got you. I got you, son. I got you, son. 58.
Here's another carry for Harris. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. 83 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And right side, Henry's got it. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. This is Harris on the draw. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Point after, right down the middle. As they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. On the return, Corey Ballantyne. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. He's going to air one out. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers, he's going to take another shot here. That's caught inside the 20.
You thought you had it, didn't you?
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
So now Rodgers will lead the Packers up to go for 2.
Hey, 4 down.
They're going to run for him with Jones. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
But I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
McCann's got it teed up. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Pats at the line ready to go. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Just 2 minutes minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Let's go, fellas.
So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is caught inside the 5. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the...
Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And he will not make it to the goal line. It's his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit. But going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, it's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because a lot of people are watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Jones now throwing on 1st down. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Back to throw. Jones. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down.
Strong right. Strong right. Everyone's got 4 down.
They'll look to throw again.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes.
Have some of this! Have some of this!
The 20, 10, and into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? And he said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. Might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Extra point by McCann, up and good, and that will extend this big lead. McCann's got it teed up. Fielded right around the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Packers,